let's try a piece of this cake. Oh look at that. Dell and I are going to try it and see what it's like. Doesn't that look good? There's not much sugar in this at all, thanks. Look at that structure. Ooh, it smells orangey. And you can make it more orangey by using orange juice instead of milk. It's not sweet at all, that's lovely, look at that. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Also, welcome to another episode of my historical recipes. Today, we're going to make a recipe from 1948 called moist orange cake. Now, in 1948, food was tighter than ever. People started complaining, in fact, but of course the government just told them to get on with it. The one thing to come off ration in 1948 was preserves. So at last people could enjoy some lovely thick marmalade on their toast in the morning. This recipe incorporates 4 tablespoons of marmalade, but it uses very little sugar, which was still on ration until 1953. Also in 1948 was a big dock strike which started in Southampton. Over 200 ships were held up, and the foodstuffs coming into the country were just left marooned. Now, also in 1948, the quality of fresh eggs was really poor. Eggs were still part of the ration, so if an egg was bad or stale, which often they were, then suppliers needed to replace those eggs for people as ordered by the government. The recipe I'm doing today uses a loaf tin. This is a 900 gram loaf tin. It measures 7 by 4 inches approximately. Here is my loaf tin. It's already greased and lined. I've preheated the oven to 160 Celsius, which is gas mark 3 or 325 Fahrenheit. These are 2 medium eggs. The recipe just calls for eggs. Back in the 1940s, most eggs were usually medium, not large. I'm using 6 ounces of flour. In modern terms, that's 175 grams, with a teaspoon and a half of baking powder, half a teaspoon, a level teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, that helps with the rise, 2 ounces or 50 grams of caster sugar. These days we might use something unrefined like golden caster sugar, but hey, this is a post-war recipe. And 2 ounces of baking margarine. In those days you would have had stalk. I don't seem to be able to get it anymore. I'm using flora. Again, these days I'd probably use butter wherever possible, but again, that was a luxury in post-war Britain. 4 tablespoons of orange marmalade. This one is Bon Maman. It contains no rubbish in it, and that's why I'm using it. Then we're using 1 teaspoon of grated orange zest. You could add more if you like, but the recipe states 1 teaspoon. Or you can use a few drops of orange essence, which is chemically extract. I have no orange extract at the moment. They sell it in the Polski Schlep, and I haven't been down there recently. This will do just fine, as the recipe states. And then either 6 tablespoons of orange juice or 6 tablespoons of milk. I think on this occasion I will go for the milk. Dan has a cold and needs his orange. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started. Sift the flour, baking powder and bicarbonate of soda into a bowl. Next I'm putting some ingredients into a pan. So there's the margarine and the marmalade and the orange zest. I can eyeball a teaspoon of this. If you want to be really accurate, that's entirely up to you. That's enough. And lastly, the 50 grams of caster sugar. And what we're going to do now is put this over a low heat until everything is nice and melty. While that mixture is melting, I'm going to beat the eggs. 1, 2. They're set aside. I'm also measuring out the milk. Do you see everything's nice and melty? This is about ready. I'm adding this to the flour and I'll give that a stir through. Till everything's combined. There we go. I'm now going to take this milk and add it to the pan that had the mixture in and just heat it through. And now I'll stir that to get all that goodness all melded together. We're not boiling the milk, we're just gently heating it. Just until everything is well combined. All the bits are picked up off the base of the pan. That's about ready. Doesn't take long. We add that to the mixture. We add the eggs last because the mixture is warm and we don't want the eggs to curdle. So mixing everything together before the eggs means that it also has time to cool. Give it a good beat. I never use a whisk because I don't need to. I've got good muscles, good elbow grease. I'm so used to baking, I've baked for most of my life. I just don't need to use hand whisks or food processors. That sounds a bit big-headed, but it's a fact. I'll just check. I'll let that cool slightly. The mixture's cooled very quickly, probably 2 or 3 minutes. So I've added the eggs and now I'm stirring everything through again, and we'll give it a final beating. As you beat it, it thickens up. If you don't beat it, you'll have a very loose mixture and you think that it won't combine. But that's perfect. It's still loose, but everything's nicely combined. So now pour the lovely mixture into the loaf tin. Every last bit of it. You don't want to waste any of that orangey lusciousness. It's not very sweet. What I always do is I give it a good shake in the tin and tip it to settle it. This then gets baked in the oven for about 50 minutes, but I'd check after 35 to 40 just in case it's ready sooner. Here we go, this has had about 45-ish minutes and the skewer has come out clean. This now needs to sit on a cooling rack for half an hour and then I can turn it out. After 30 minutes, turn out of the cake pan, remove the greaseproof paper and allow to cool completely. Let's try a piece of this cake. Oh look at that. Donna and I are going to try it and see what it's like. Doesn't that look good? There's not much sugar in this at all, thanks. Look at that structure. Oh, it smells orangey. And you can make it more orangey by using orange juice instead of milk. It's not sweet at all. That's lovely. Look at that. Oh, I like that. That's delicious. Well, we have in fact got some fondant icing which I bought before Christmas for our Christmas cake. It's been in the fridge. We could only get a large block. So I've taken it out of the fridge to rest at room temperature for a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to brush a little bit of orange curd, or you could use some heated up marmalade, over the top, and then I'll roll out a piece of the fondant icing and put it over the top, because our friend Val is coming tomorrow and I think she will really enjoy that with a little bit of icing on top. So there you go. This is the 1948 recipe for moist orange cake, and it is indeed moist. And the lovely dark golden colour is as a result of the 4 tablespoons of marmalade. Marmalade cake is always a bit darker in colour when it comes out of the oven, which is ostensibly what it is. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Please do comment. Have you tried this recipe? Would you try it? It's not as calorific as some of today's cakes, and it's got a lovely airy structure. Please share and subscribe. Ring the notification bell. Thanks ever so much for watching as usual, and I'll see you again soon for another one. Until then, bye for now.